Welcome to round 3 of the Msdgc. After a fantastic finish on round 2, we've got 5 people tied for the lead. Matt LaCourte, Ron Russell, Steve Brinster, Walter Haney, and Keith Warren are all at -6. This is Mike Dussault teeing off on hole 2, taking the high left to right route. That's a great looking shot and a nice birdie. That's a great start by Mike Dussault, hometown favorite. Here's Gerald Davis, another New England favorite, hitting the birdie. Chris Heron from Wisconsin also getting the birdie on hole 3. Nicely done. Steve Brinster, comeback putt on hole 1, lays it up a little bit long and almost OB. Walter Haney, after going in the water, needs this for bogey. Saves the bogey, only drops 1 stroke. Moving on to the second hole, Matt LaCourte and Keith Warren now have the lead. Here's Cam Todd's drive on hole 5.
Get it.
Oh boy, that must have been close. Let's watch his comeback putt.
I thought that was in.
If we've got that on tape. Indeed we do. Cam Todd, easy birdie on hole 5. Probably obviously a close ace. Dr. Doug on hole 3. This is a beautiful left to right throw. Parks it about 30 feet short. Takes the birdie. A nice start by Dr. Doug. Matt LaCourte, second birdie in a row. That's a great start by Matt. Moving on to the third hole. Gerald Davis on hole 5. That's a nice drive. This is the drive Cam almost hit. Now Gerald's making a run at it. Just short. Nice run by Gerald. Here's Mitch. That's looking good. It's fading off a little right. He's going to have a pretty long comeback putt, which he cans. Nice shot, Mitch. Good birdie. Keith Warren hitting the first tree on the right on hole 4. Obviously not too happy with that. Mike Dussault going ahead and getting to the second tree on the left. Here's Dr. Doug.
Oh, Chris, why did you do that? You made me do that.
I'm Keith. Chris made you do it.
Keith Warren and Chris Heron, both from Wisconsin. Bob Graham.
That's one of 2 trees.
Oh boy,
That's it.
that group didn't have a good time on that. Keith Warren's second shot. That's a great way to save par by Keith Warren.
That was harder from back there.
Clearly. Walter Haney for birdie on hole 3. Nice putt, Walter. Matt LaCourte for birdie on hole 3. Matt LaCourte is on fire right now. Moving into sole possession of first. 1 ahead of Keith Warren, 2 ahead of Steve Brinster. Mike Dussault drive on hole 5. This is about a 180-foot shot through tight woods. These guys are just pegging it. Dr. Doug, hole 5. Fades left a little bit.
Hit it. Hit it.
Run, no! Just missed underneath. A couple of easy birdies for Mike Dussault and Dr. Doug. Here's Matt LaCourte on the dangerous hole 4. 240 feet, 30 feet downhill. Matt LaCourte slides it right down there. Probably got about a 15 or 20 footer comeback. Ron Russell with the birdie on hole 4. He's not going anywhere. Matt LaCourte, nice birdie also. Matt LaCourte has started off with 4 birdies. He is on fire. Cam Todd on hole 7. Snuggles it right up there. Nicely done, Cam. Oh, that must have kicked left. He's got a putt that he makes easy. Nice birdie by Cam Todd on hole 7. Gerald Davis, hole 6. 8 strokes off the lead. Nice hit. Jay Redding, 1 shot behind Gerald. Hits the putt. Here we go, Bob Graham. Some beautiful background angels watching over him as he hits the putt. Moving on to the 5th hole. Matt LaCourte has a 2-stroke lead over Steve Brinster and Keith Warren, and Ron Russell just 3 strokes out. Here's Steve Brinster on hole 5. He pulls it to the right and kicks to the right. That's pretty ugly. Walter Haney trying to get through that gap. He makes it. A little godlike direction, and he's got an easy birdie. Bob Graham on the 6th hole. Oh, he ticked off a tree. Went around to the right.
That's what you want.
I am the luckiest person in the world. I swear to God.
And proving it every day. We move on to hole 6 with Matt LaCourte leading now Ron Russell and Keith Warren by 2 strokes. Steve Brinster taking the bogey is down by 3. Here's Mike Dussault on hole 7. That's a nice drive, leaves it a little bit short, gets a bad kick. Keith Warren on hole 7 also. That's a... Not too happy there. Keith Warren with a very exciting second shot. Lays down the roller.
Keep going.
Kicks
Keep
up.
going. Yeah,
Kicks to the right.
spinning right around.
He's under the pin. He's got a nice par. Mike Dussault, birdie!
Nice, Mike.
Count it, Mike. That was square on. Here's Mitch Sonderfan on the exciting and beautiful 8th hole. It's straight enough and short. Jay Redding makes it. Nicely done, Jay Redding. Cam Todd, nice touch on hole 9. That's an exciting shot with the OB right behind it. We move on to the 7th hole with Matt LaCourte now leading Ron Russell, Steve Brinster, and Keith Warren all by 1 stroke. Steve Brinster with a beautiful drive on hole 7. That is very nicely done indeed. An easy birdie for Steve. Ron Russell following that shot on hole 7. Also right up the gap. This is looking wonderful. He's got about 8 feet. He should be able to hit that for birdie. Here's Dr. Doug again on hole 8. Beautiful left to right shot. Plenty of distance. Whoa. Enough distance. He should get the birdie. Bob Graham for bird. Yes, thank you, Bob. Keith Warren now. Same shot. Birdie. Bringing it home, Keith Warren. Take it home to Wisconsin. Chris Heron for a very exciting birdie on hole 9. Off the top. What a great run. That stayed in bounds. Jay Redding coming back. Well done, sir. Chris Heisel for a nice deuce on hole 10. Hits it. Mark Shuttle. This is for his 3rd shot on hole 10. Yes. That's a beautiful putt and a beautiful angle. Thank you, camera person. Moving on to the 8th hole, Matt LaCourte, Ron Russell, Steve Brinster, Keith Warren all tied at -9. Mike Dussault is 2 strokes down. Here's Ron Russell on the 8th. He hangs that. It's out a little bit to the right. Get through there. Off a tree into the water. Ron is going to the drop zone. Shooting 3. Gonna bogey hole 8. Walter Haney. A couple strokes back now. Maybe gonna close the gap. Beautiful shot by Walter Haney. Almost an ace. That would have been fun. Matt LaCourte, one of our leaders. He pulls that thing off to the right. Get through there, disc. Ouch! That was smackdown. That's a WWF tree. Or WWE tree, sorry. Dr. Doug. Bam! Nice shot, Dr. Doug. One of the best putts you'll see all day. Or not him, but you, the viewer. Mike Dussault with a nice run at for a birdie there. Keith Warren for birdie. That was an amazing drive all the way past the pin. Hits it. Doesn't matter how, it's just how many. Gerald Davis with a drive on hole 10. That's about 18 feet short. Jay Redding. Hole 10 also. That looks very nice indeed. Mitch Sonderfan, hole 10. Hole 10 is pretty much a deuce or die hole. And these guys are all setting it up to have a shot at deuce. Chris Heron, is he making a run? Oh, nice shot by all 4 of them. Go ahead and follow up the birdie putts by Jay, by Gerald, by Chris, and Mitch. Wonder how Chris feels getting a birdie and still having the back of the box. Moving on to hole 9. Steve Brinster and Keith Warren are now in the lead. Matt LaCourte, after that bogey, has fallen back a couple strokes. Bob Graham makes a run at the... Oh, so close. Nice run, Bob Graham. Nice birdie gimme. Keith Warren. He was one of the folks watching as Brinster took his shot. And now... Oh! Great run by Keith Warren. Not quite as good as Brinster. Mike Dussault on hole 10. That disc is knifing back nicely for the gimme birdie. Mark Shuttle, hole 12. Very tight left to right shot.
Oh, yeah.
Most people try a big right to left hyzer. Mark Shuttle parks it with the left to right finesse. Well done, Mark. Here's Gerald Davis with a gimme putt on 11 that he doesn't take. Walter Haney, hole 9. 3 shots out. Floats it by the basket. That would have been a great birdie. He's got about an 18, 20-footer comeback. Low. Walter Haney has bogeyed hole 9. Matt LaCourte for the par. Thank you, Matt. Well done. We're moving on to hole 10 with Keith Warren now in the lead by 1 over Steve Brinster. We've got a big group 3 strokes out. Steve Brinster on hole 10. Hangs it up left. Probably got about a 20, 25-footer. Ron Russell, hole 10. That gets around those trees and scooches. Ooh, he left himself about a 25-footer. These guys risk losing a stroke. Matt LaCourte hangs it way up there. Beautiful shot by Matt. That's got the distance. He's going to drop in for birdie. Well done, Matt. Walt Haney. That's going to knife in nicely. Sit down, disc. Whoops.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter, according to Walt. We'll see. Ron Russell sinks the bird easy. Steve Brinster, easy. Here's Walter Haney. Easy. That's why it didn't matter. Gerald Davis in the shul on hole 12. This is for birdie. Oh, boy. Come on, Jay Redding. Let's see if you can do it. That looks good. Oh, just off the chains. Mitch Sonderfan for birdie. Well, I did see one chain that barely moved, so that explains why that bounced out. Keith Warren, second shot on hole 11. He drifts it off to the right. He's got about a 40-footer coming back. Ah, a little bit low. That's a great pin placement up there, isn't it? Dr. Doug hits the putt. Nicely done. And we've got Bob Graham for par. Nice, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
A 3 on hole 11 is going to gain you a stroke. We move on to the 11th hole. Steve Brinster still leading Keith Warren by 1 stroke. Bunch of people now at -9. Ron Russell lets out a bomb on hole. This is hole 11. That's fantastic. That's textbook how you want to play this thing. Just nice and straight. Get the second shot. You want to get it right up on that little dirt mound. Maybe even a little short and scooch up. Ron has read the textbook. He might have wrote the book. Here comes Walter Haney. See how well he can get up there. You just want to save the 3 here. Excellent shot by Walter Haney. These two fellows are definitely going to par out a hole 11. Matt LaCourte, this is his 3rd shot. He needs to get this close. Oh boy, Matt LaCourte looking at double bogey on hole 11. Starting to drift back into the crowd a little bit. Bob Graham, hole 12. 6 shots out of the lead. Make that 7. Bob Graham's second shot. He's got to save something right here. Save something,
nice,
he
Bob.
does.
Wow.
That is parked.
Woo. Give me some.
That was what we're supposed to do.
I'd like a little of that too. Mitch Sonderfan, hole 13 for par. He hits it. Nicely done, Mitch. We move on to the 12th hole. Steve Brinster and Keith Warren are -11. Ron Russell is 2 shots back. Mike Dussault hanging strong in 4th, 3 shots back. Here's Gerald Davis on hole 14, driving a perfect drive. With that tree hit, he's going to have about a 15, 20-footer. Should be a gimme. Yeah, especially after missing that shot on 11. He's not missing any more of those. Walter Haney on hole 12, taking the same route as Mark Shuttle. That disc should be coming back just past the pin. Nice, about 15, 20 feet past. 25-footer, easy. Ron Russell with a 20-footer for birdie. Steve Brinster's already birdied. Matt LaCourte just to keep up with these guys, 15-footer. Off the top, Matt LaCourte loses another stroke. Cam Todd, hole 15, he's got about a 35-footer. Oh no! It's the top and the bottom and does not go in. Keith Warren for a birdie shot on hole 13.
Yeah!
Count it! Keith Warren's running. Not only is he running, he's tied for first with that shot. He and Steve Brinster are 12 down. Ron Russell 2 back. Dr. Doug. This is not a lefty-friendly hole, but his disc commands him to win this tournament. Look at that shot. Well done, Dr. Doug.
Nobody said what a great
Another beautiful shot. Mike Dussault hoping to follow in the footsteps of the doctor. Oh, he gets through. How did he get through there? You remember even getting through that fork on hole 11 at Pyramids? Unbelievable. Mitch Sonderfan with a great drive on hole 15. Beautiful left to right shot. Left himself with about a 30-foot putt, which is easy for Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. Chris Heisel, hole 16, about a 25-footer. Birdie! Count it, Chris. Keith Warren for birdie on hole 14 to move up in the lead. Mike Dussault, come back for birdie. Yes, easy. Keith Warren to take sole possession of the lead. It bounces out. Steve Brinster has bogeyed hole 13, so Steve Brinster and Keith Warren are now tied at minus 11, and Ron Russell is 1 stroke closer, minus 10. Here's Ron Russell on hole 14, looking to take advantage of Keith and Steve's miscues. That's a great run by Ron Russell. He set himself up well for a birdie. Steve Brinster, perhaps feeling a little pressure here, unleashes a straight as a string rocket ship right at the basket. Should have an easy birdie as well. Matt LaCourte, now 5 strokes off the lead after leading by 3. Gets around the tree. Nicely done. Also set up for a birdie. Mike Dussault, hole 15. Duplicating Mitch's shot. Actually even one-upping Mitch's shot. He set himself up nicely for a birdie. Keith Warren. Great lefty hyzer shot. Drifts right in towards the basket. He's left himself 20-25 feet for a birdie. Here's Chris Herron's second shot on hole 16. It's going right at the pin. Nice shot by Chris Herron. Mitch Sonderfan, birdie. Cam Todd, 17, birdie. Mark Shuttle's third shot on hole 17 after watching that beautiful birdie putt. Nice shot by Mark Shuttle. Way to hang in there. The 15th hole, Keith Warren is now taking the lead by 1 over Ron Russell and Steve Brinster. Walt Haney and a group of people at 8 down. Here's Walt on hole 15. He cuts it a little narrow. That's a beautiful shot. That gets through. That should be an easy birdie for Walt. Mike Dussault on hole 16. This is a tight little gap. Oh, he rips it and grips it and rips it, and he's in trouble off to the right. Jay Redding driving on hole 17. That looks like a textbook shot. Right up the gap. He's got about a 40-footer for birdie. Birdie! That made the trip from Iowa worthwhile. Cam Todd, second shot, hole 18. He turned it early. It hit a tree and bounced back at his OB. Cam Todd double bogeys hole 18 and drops down to 12th place. Mark Shuttle, hole 1. That is a beautiful shot by Mark Shuttle.
Get it.
Oh, nice run. Very nice run. Dr. Doug, hole 17. Lefty's got to try that left to right shot. Hangs up in a tree. Brings down a stick.
He killed it.
He is a madman. Let's see what he does from underneath that tree. That's a beautiful upshot from the knees. Look at that. Easy putt with Mike Dussault in the way. Life's easy and fun. Here we go, hole 16, Steve Brinster. That's a nice shot. Can it kick to the right a little for us? No, he's got about a 20-footer for birdie. Walter Haney's second shot on hole 16. Fires it up there. It's drifting left. Kicks right. Nicely done. That's an easy par for Walt Haney. Ron Russell for birdie to move him into a tie for the lead. Oh, just short. Nice run by Ron Russell. Steve Brinster to tie for the lead. This is for birdie. Count it. Easy. Chris Heisel, hole 1. Birdie! This is an easy course, easy game. Everything's fun. Here comes Jay Redding, hammering it home. He's on fire these last few holes. Well, that was a 3, but a 3 is basically a birdie on hole 18. We're moving on to hole 17. Keith Warren, Steve Brinster tied for the lead. Mike Dussault, boy. Generally, you want to go pretty straight on this hole. You don't want to hook way left. You don't want to hook way right also, because there's OB off to the right. Here's Mike Dussault's second shot. He fires it right up through the gap with the flick. That thing dies right beautifully for him. Keith Warren, a little short, bounces OB, gets into the tee area, the pin area, I should say. That would be called a green. Holy cow, nice putt by Bob Graham for Keith Warren's bogey. Short, Keith Warren, who was in the lead, has just double bogeyed. Dr. Doug for 3, easy. That means that Steve Brinster is now in the lead. This would put him in the lead by 2. He's about pin high on shot on hole 17, but he's in the muck. Looks like he's trying a turbo. It's a great run. Oh my goodness, nice run. This is Ron Russell then to tie. Oh, well. So that means Keith Warren is double bogeyed, Steve Brinster is parred, and Ron Russell is parred. We've got a bunch of people up near the top. Nice run by Chris Heron at that. Let's see if he can hit this 30-foot birdie putt. Count it. Well done, Chris Heron.
Do it right. You gotta go.
I really didn't understand my
Looks like Cam is going to show these guys the way. Let's try to focus on Cam and watch his reaction to this potential ace. Oh, just about 10-15 feet past for the easy birdie for Cam. That would have been a lot of fun. Here we go. Moving on to the final hole. Steve Brinster is in the lead by 1. Ron Russell and Keith Warren are 1 stroke out. We're on the 18th. This is Walter Haney's upshot. He makes it look easy. Once you get far enough, it's a pretty easy shot going into the pin. Steve Brinster hits it. The A-skins was basically the same thing. Ron Russell off to the right, kind of a tricky left to right shot. And he does it. Beautiful shot. He's parked for the par. Moving on to Jay Redding, who's been on fire lately. Hits another birdie putt. Well done, Jay Redding. And here's Dr. Doug on hole 1. He's 6 strokes back. This would be a great boon to get this birdie.
Yeah.
How about an ace? Bings it off the pole. Nice deuce by Dr. Doug. Mark Shuttle for birdie on hole 3.
Hit it.
Oh, just short. About a 20-foot comebacker. Last hole. Not the way you want to finish. Here's Keith Warren for the lead. Off the side. Keith is not happy.